Good afternoon and welcome to another pre-market review session with the Market Trader. My name is Ray, the Market Trader, and we're going to do a pre-market review session analyzing the future markets in the anticipation of today's New York session. So without further ado, let's start off by reviewing our risk disclosure. Okay, just want to everyone that the content that's being provided by the market trader is to be treated as general information only. None of the information is intended to be investment advice and offered to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. Use of this information contained herein is to be used at your own risk, and the company, its partners, representatives, agents, employees, contractors, assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. We all understand that future trading does contain a fair amount of risk. It's not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation or an offer to buy, sell, recommend, or endorse to buy, sell futures, options, or Forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so now that we've gotten through the risk disclosure, we're going to go ahead and move into our portal to review news. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and review a fair amount of news today. Okay, so we have a number of earnings reports. At least I see here we have Caterpillar that has already reported. I'm trying to look through the list here to see if there's any others. We have eBay, Meta, all coming in today, reporting earnings. And then we have a number of news that could potentially affect the markets. We have ADP employment change reporting today. We have PCE price index reporting today. We have consumer spending reporting today at 10 a.m. We have, for those who trade crude oil, we have EIA reporting today at 10:30 a.m. And so fair amount of news being published or being reported into the market here. Okay, so let's go ahead now that we've gotten through our risk disclosure. We're going to go ahead and start reviewing our markets here. Okay, so we'll take a look at, let's see, we'll go ahead and stop share and open up the platform here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and review this here. Platinum, yep. Okay, so here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and start off, not with the platinum, but with the gold market. Okay, so here we are, the gold market. We're going to review and start off with the daily chart here. Okay, so daily chart. Now the daily chart is giving us a little bit of a, kind of a mixed signal as to exactly which direction they would like, participants would like to take the market. We've had overlapping price action of late. Last 5 days we've had both bearish and bullish candles, okay, in the market. We still have this gap above that really, this supply zone above us that really has yet to be filled, okay, kind of acting as resistance at the moment. Okay, so on the daily chart, really not giving us any indication where they would like to take the market of late here. So kind of ranging, not really offering us much in the way of direction. Okay, moving into the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, similar kind of view. I'm going to go ahead and remove our initial balance range. You can see here that we are stuck in what appears to be a range price action. This whole area here, I'm going to go ahead and color. It's kind of a neutral color here, not any sort of specific color. So this gray area, this gray zone, a lot of overlapping price. Again, in this case, VWAP is not really offering us much in the way of indications on the direction in which they would like to take the market here. Okay, you can see the zone that we drew on the daily chart again is very much here as well on the 4-hour chart. Just kind of extended that up to the top here around 3,500, which is now kind of the all-time highs. Okay, in the gold market. So nothing right now to indicate exactly what direction. Now we do have a developing bullish candle, but we've had our bullish candles in the past only to get stuck at 3360. 3360 is seems to be an important level on the resistance side, and then let's say 3280 to the downside. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now and move into the 30-minute chart. This is where we'll start to do a little bit of analysis here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this range area that I've identified. We're going to go ahead and open up our initial balance range. We're already working on our second candle to establish our initial balance range. We're going to go ahead also and draw in our fixed range volume profile here for Tuesday. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and locate the start of Tuesday, drag that across to the close of Tuesday, and you can see that price technically is below or open below value from yesterday. Okay, so indicating that there's maybe a little bit of a acceptance here to the downside. So price is beginning to come into an area where we could see maybe some resistance to the current advancement of price. So I'm going to go ahead and extend a couple of lines here. Okay, so this is our point of control from yesterday. Okay, this is our point of control from yesterday at 3321.8. And then we have our value area low here at 3317. Okay, so assuming that this bearish structure that we're seeing in the lower time frame is going to remain intact, then the expectation is that we will not exceed, or we will at least bounce away from this 3317 level, because we'll be coming into the teeth of this area of balance, okay, of price. We've got some area of balanced price action. So the expectation, if we are going to remain in that kind of structure, then this area should prove to be resistant. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and open up our anchor VWAP here, just to get a sense for where we are with respect to the most recent session, in this case London. Okay, and you can see here that we are now above London. All right, giving us maybe some indication that we are moving in to bullish price action. But I'm going to be kind of guarded here right around this area. I'm going to wait for the market to give me some more information to guide me as to the direction of the market here. I'm going to wait for the initial balance range to establish, and before it provides so that it provides me some indication of where they would like to take the market. If price breaks above, then I'm going to be looking for maybe potential move to the upside. If price breaks below, which probably it feels like that's the case, this is coming into an area where we could maybe participate to the downside in this market. Okay, so we're got a little bit of mixed signals here. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can open up my visible range, dynamic visible range volume profile here. You can see that we're starting to come into value on the dynamic range. We have yet to come into value from the yesterday's range. So again, a lot of mixed signals here. It'll be interesting to see if this value area low here holds and provides us maybe an opportunity for a downside move in this market. Okay, that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. If we do get price to close, say above 33.24, then maybe that opens the door for price to not only reach the other edge of value, but maybe as high as 33.41, which is our average session range high here. Okay, so that's what I have for the gold market. We are appears in pre-market and into the session. We've gotten some bullish price action, but we are coming into an area that could cause price to potentially continue to the downside. So we haven't really broken any significant structure to the upside to really change our sentiment at this point. Okay, let's go ahead now and move into the crude oil market. Okay, we'll take a look at crude. It's been a market that's been bearish of late, and I think continues to be. So we'll take a look here at the daily chart. We'll remove some of our drawings. We'll adjust our volume delta bars here. Okay, and you can see that price remains in this kind of bearish, has this bearish tone right now. If you are a believer of a Fibonacci or measured moves or anything along these lines, well, it does look like that we are going to come and visit 54 and maybe as low as 47. This would be a measured move, okay? A measured move of this swing, okay, up to this retracement, down to, I would say, at least 54, okay? 54 does appear to be our eventual destination in this market, okay? Moving into the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, we're going to go ahead and turn off our initial balance range, okay? Again, we are on the lower end of the visible volume range here. Again, giving us some indication that maybe we are going to move into some sort of continued move to the downside. We did get a bullish bar in the middle of the series of candles here, and now we are in maybe some areas that could potentially serve as supportive, okay? So if we reach these kind of low volume nodes here, that could offer us maybe a little bit of a bounce in this market, okay? Moving down to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, again, we're going to be taking a look at this on the 30-minute side and see what the market has to offer here. So we're going to open up our fixed range volume profile. Again, we're going to start with the open of Tuesday back here at 9 a.m., drag that across to the close of Tuesday here, and that is, so you can see that price is well below value, indicating that there is a level of acceptance of lower pricing in this market, okay? Our price is below VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and add our anchored VWAP to this. That is, let's see, right about there, okay? So you can see that we're also below our anchored VWAP, okay, all giving us all indications that we are potentially looking to see maybe a continued price action to the downside. I'm going to go ahead and open up our, this is our first bar of our initial balance range. We have some extension zones. We're right in the middle. We're already kind of in some low volume nodes, developing maybe a little bit of volume here around the 59.68 level. Okay, we did have a little bit of a swing higher. Now the question is this merely a pullback for another potential move to the upside? Certainly possible. Okay, if that's the case, then we would need initial balance to hold, and we would need to see price above this initial balance range, maybe a retest of 59.75, and then that could potentially lead to a move certainly back up to 60 and maybe potentially up to 60, 67 if we are a believer of the ASR high area. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at here. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I want to kind of call out here in this market right now. If we are, I would say 60 would be an interesting area for maybe potential short. Okay, maybe at this point, if that were the case, then that would be, you would be looking for more of a failed auction, given what we're seeing in the initial balance range. We could get a push up to the 60 level, and that could cause maybe price to continue lower, okay? Otherwise, the other option would be that we get price to close below the initial balance range up to the downside. We get a little bit of a pullback back up to initial balance low, and that would lead to some sort of move, a continued move to the downside, okay? So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now in this market. We'll go ahead now and move into the first equity market of the day. That is the NQ, okay? We're going to go ahead and open up the daily chart here, okay, and get a sense for what price is trying to accomplish here. Well, I drew in some earlier analysis, I drew the fact that we are in this kind of consolidation range, developing consolidation range in this market, right? So market is in consolidation, deciding on exactly which direction of the market that they're looking to continue to move price, okay? Now, I don't know exactly what direction this is going to eventually take place once we get to the apex of this triangle, but I do know that the magnitude of the move is going to be rather significant. Okay, the mouth of the candle is telling us the significance of this move. Could be to the upside. Okay, could be to the upside. Okay, or we could continue in the current structure, which is to the downside, and that this could lead us as low to say 14,700. Okay, so I don't know the direction, but I do know the magnitude of the move. All right, moving on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, we're going to go ahead and turn off our initial balance here for a moment here. Okay, and looking at the 4-hour chart, we can see that we are at the upper end of this consolidation range that I drew here, developing a rather strong bearish engulfing candle, wiping out a number of hopeful buyers here. Okay, so this could lead to some sort of continued move to the downside. So this price is currently being supported. So there's currently 10,000 more sellers in the market. Okay, so this is kind of I would say a little bit ominous here. Okay, we have a developing bearish engulfing candle that could lead to further price move to the downside. Looking at the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, again, we'll do our volume analysis here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and locate the fixed range volume profile from yesterday here. Okay, so this being right about here. Okay, dragging that across to the close, right about there. Okay, and you can see that price is below our value range from yesterday. Okay, so again, indicating that there is some sort of acceptance of for a price to move lower. Okay, we are well below our VWAP, well below our daily VWAP. We're still 15 minutes away from establishing the initial balance range, but the market does appear to be bearish. Okay, on the short term, and even indications of the same in the slightly higher time frames. Okay, so we are coming into an area of potential demand. We've already kind of from a demand zone. Okay, so we are in the area that could be supportive. Okay, the question is, are we going to get any sort of price reversal from this market? Okay, if so, we seem to be, the buyers haven't really jumped in at the opportunity as of yet. Okay, we've exceeded the average session range to the downside. So now this average session range to the low can serve as an area. You know, this area here around 19,387. Okay, or not 387, but 342. This area could serve as an area, could serve as a price reference level for a continuation move to the downside. Okay, that's so the fact that it's been broken to the downside does indicate that maybe we're going to lose a little bit of a momentum potentially to the downside, since this is kind of our average range of price moves that we get in these instruments. But nonetheless, if we are going to continue in this bearish direction, 19,345 would not be a bad reference location for that move to take place. Otherwise, we're going to break above it and then maybe revisit some of these prices above us. We have the value area low area. Okay, that could also serve as a nice location for price reversal. Okay, so this area right here, let's go ahead and see if I can modify that color to blue. Okay, this level here around 19,470 could also be a logical area for price to reach and reverse away from. Okay, that would be kind of another zone for maybe a further downside move in this market. All right, so that's kind of what I have for the NASDAQ. We're going to go ahead and move into the ES markets. Okay, okay, looking at the ES again, with all the news or anticipation of news, the news was not received very well, obviously. Okay, so looking at the daily chart, we can see, we're going to go ahead and remove some of our drawings from this chart. You can see that we are developing a rather ominous bearish candle supported by volume. Okay, again, similar to what we've done before here, this does feel like maybe another kind of retracement move rather than an impulsive move. So if I do a little bit of Fibonacci extension here, if I take this most recent swing and measure as to where this can go, well, we have the 5,000 level that's kind of serving. Otherwise, we have the potential of getting down to 46.22. I'm not necessarily saying that this is going to happen in the next 30 minutes, but over the next few days, over the next week, maybe that's the destination for this move, and that would be aligned with the bearish structure that we see in this market. Moving into the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, we have a developing bearish engulfing candle up against an area of low volume. Okay, we had a fair amount of volume here at the top end of the visible range. Now we're developing a bearish engulfing candle, wiping out a lot of hopeful buyers. That leads me to believe that we are going to at least come back down here to 5,400. Okay, revisit this kind of this little pocket here of volume here. That would be kind of a logical area for the destination of price. Maybe we continue and fill this gap, okay, around 53.32, okay, before we see any sort of bounce in this market. So 4-hour is equally as bearish as the daily. Looking at the 30-minute chart, again, we are exceeding some of our average session ranges here to the downside, indicating that there's a fair amount of interest in taking this market lower. Okay, maybe a result of some of the news that's been published in the market has not been received very well. Okay, we are below our daily VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and add our anchor VWAP here for the start of London here, right about here. Okay, so you can see that price is below our daily and our anchored VWAP, indicating that the market is quite bearish at the moment. All right, we're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. I expect that we are probably below the range here. So we'll go ahead and find the open of yesterday's market to the close. And you can see that indeed we haven't really opened yet, but the market pre-market session market is quite bearish here. Okay, so looking at this, you can see that we're quite bearish. Again, this area should serve as an area for an area that we could potentially use as a reference level for a continued move to the downside. Okay, so we have our anchor VWAP, we have our daily VWAP, all indicating bearish. We've exceeded the average session range. Again, given the fact that this is a news-driven day, that could maybe accentuate the move that we are currently seeing in this market, but the market does appear to be bearish. So we need to continue to maybe look for opportunities where we can potentially sell some strength here, okay, rather than just to kind of sell here at the retail values. We need to wait to see if we get in maybe a better opportunity here on some sort of retracement back to anchor VWAP, retracement back to daily VWAP for maybe an opportunity for a bearish trade to the downside. Okay, we're going to wind down this session here with about 10 minutes to go here with the Dow. Okay, again, we're going to go ahead and start off with the daily chart here. Okay, daily chart, and get a sense for what the market is trying to do here. So you can see here, I drew an ascending wedge. We are currently developing a bearish candle here, bearish engulfing candle, I might add. So things are looking bearish. Okay, we're already in a market structure, price structure to the downside. Again, similar to the other markets inside this consolidation range. Okay, moving down to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. We're developing a bearish engulfing candle, again, giving us some indication that there's maybe further downside move in this market. I'm going to turn off this anchored VWAP here for a moment. We are coming into an area, some high volume areas here around 40,000. Okay, 40,000 does seem to be an area of maybe some potential support. But with this current candle, assuming that we close in this way, we again spoiled a number of hopeful buyers here. Okay, if it does close at these levels. Moving into the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart, where we are already at ASR lows. Okay, We're going to go ahead and open up the fixed range volume profile from yesterday. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and locate the start of the market here, right about there. Okay, drag that across to the close, right about there, and you can see aligned with all the other equity markets. Market has closed below value, and the expectation is the market will open below value, and basically is looking like maybe a continued move to the downside. Okay, so similarly, I'm going to be looking for maybe an opportunity where I can get a little bit of a retracement here back to something like value area low, and that could offer me an opportunity for a bear side trade. Okay, right around say 40,500, 40,506 would seem to be a reasonable level to entertain a bearish trade in this market. Now, the fact that we are at average session range low could cause the momentum to the downside to stall here a little bit around 40,257. That could lead us to a little bit of a bullish move. But I expect, given the size of these candles, that the move is going to be more of the pullback level rather than a push that's going to become a trend to the upside. I'm going to go ahead and add our anchored VWAP here to the top of this market here, right around the start of London. Okay, there it is. So you can see both our average daily range, not average daily, our daily VWAP and our anchored VWAP are both indicating that there is more downside opportunity. Our fixed range and our visible range volume profile also telling us that there's further opportunity to the downside. Okay, so that's kind of how we need to align ourselves, guys. We're going to go ahead and just do a quick peek at the markets here, see what they're developing into. So we have our initial balance range that I'll go ahead and open up again in the gold here. So the gold is giving us some indication of some bullish price action. Price did manage to close above daily VWAP. We have our initial balance range that's been established. We are coming into some high volume areas above us that could cause price to maybe potentially reverse. So I would say that on the short term, I would say that we're looking a bit bullish. It'll be interesting to see if we do manage to close above 33.24. Looking at the kind of one last look at the crude oil market, similar kind of thing. We have our first bullish indication here on the with this developing bullish candle. It'll be interesting to see if we do manage to get above, say, 60.40, because that would get us into the value range again. So looking a little bit, I would say a little bit bullish here. We have this swing that kind of wiped out some hopeful sellers. We had a pullback, and now we've held price at these levels. Okay. Now the thing that I want to remind everyone of is that we do have EIA report, so that could shake up the markets. So we want to be cautious before that, and then potentially sit on the sidelines until that report comes out. Okay, so that's kind of what we're seeing on the crude oil market. It does appear to be showing some signs of some bullish price action, and then we'll close out our review of the equities again. And I would say that overall it's looking quite bearish, and that we should be looking for some opportunities for some bearish trades. Okay, so this move here I have already kind of drawn here back to ASR low could offer us an opportunity. Another area could be this value area low, could offer us an opportunity around 19,470, or as I mentioned earlier, 19,345. Okay, so that's kind of what I have for you guys today with respect to the markets. I would say that I'm a cautious bull on the gold, probably similar in the crude oil, and then I would say overall across all the equity markets, it's looking quite bearish, and we should be looking for opportunities to sell some strength in these markets. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close off the session like we close most sessions. Trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Have an excellent day today in trading.